Hi, welcome to Bookish Road Trip, the Pulpwood Queens recommends for March. I'm Mary Helen Sheriff, co-founder of Bookish Road Trip, and I have here my special guest, Kathy L. Murphy, who is the CEO of the International Pulpwood Queens and Timber Guys Book Club Reading Nation, which is the largest book club in the world with over 800 members. Kathy, tell us what you have to recommend for March.
Oh my goodness. We have really been excited about our books that we picked this year because this is the first time ever in our now 21 years of reading together that we're picking 12 books of the year and 12 international reads of the year. So 24 books that are main selections. And then, of course, our bonus books. So I'm going to begin with our March lead read, which is The Chanel Sisters by Judith Little. Now, I have been a Coco Chanel fan all of my life. I've always thought she was such an innovator. I loved her style. I loved everything. And I always wanted to create hats. But this is a story I'd never read before because it's about her sister. And I've read many books, but I never remembered anything about her. So this is a fictional story about her, Antoinette and Gabrielle Coco Chanel, about their story. And they were just so ahead of their time. Judith Little has done more research on this book for people who love anything to do with fashion and even women's studies. This is the book to read, and it's one that you will not be able to put down. So, our March book of the month is The Chanel Sisters by Judith Little. Next up, and I've been waiting and waiting for this book. It finally got published. This is our international book of the month for March. Paradise Road. It's a memoir by Marilyn Crete. Now, Marilyn lives up in British Columbia, and her story is. I read a lot of memoirs, but this one is so different. At the age of 14, she ran away from home, and pretty much all of her life she's had wanderlust and travels, and I've always wanted to travel by myself and I just can't imagine it. But this is one brave woman. This is a actual photograph of her when she was riding her bike across the country, and it was snapped and she completely forgot about it. But this was when she was 22, and the story of her perseverance and trying to find her way in this world will inspire so many women. I just loved it. It's a very unique tale, and I always look for the story that hasn't been told before. And she's still up in British Columbia, and this would make a great Netflix series or movie. So I hope everybody will read Paradise Road. This is now available on online booksellers. It's even got a little stamp of approval on the front. Okay, next up, we're going to go into our bonus books for March. And I have a really good friend that is in a Mahjong club. And so when this book came to me, it's called The Mermaid Mahjong Circle, a fairy tale for women. Well, growing up, I was the biggest reader of every fairy tale from Hans Christian Andersen to the Grimm's brothers to Irish fairy tales, loved them. And I thought I've always been fascinated with Mahjong because when I was in high school in a school play, I played a literary agent who played Mahjong. And I thought, what is this? And if you've ever read the book Crazy Rich Asians, there's this Mahjong. Um, they play it like bridge. It's fascinating to me. And the fact that it's done as a fairy tale for women, I hope everybody reads this by Claudia Grossman. Beautiful cover, beautiful story. Now, I have a love for this author. He's British, Robert Macfarlane, and it's illustrated by Jackie Morris. The Lost Spells. This is from the creators of The Lost Word, which was a very big, oversized book, and it was the story told of the words that are being taken out of the dictionaries to make room for all the technological terms that are coming into our vocabulary. You know, if we're not careful, our books get to be, I don't know if you've seen or read the book, The Professor and the Madman, but our encyclopedias and dictionaries are getting so thick, they're taking out nature words. I am in love with nature. So The Lost Spells is, to me, the gift book of the year, because the end papers, I don't know if you can see all these wonderful creatures, but the stories in the books have the most wonderful illustrations. As an artist, as a lover of words, as a lover of stories, I cannot recommend The Lost Spells enough. Put this in everybody's Easter basket, everybody. This is a great, great gift book. Next up is our author. His name is Michael Ferris Smith, and he has won our bonus book of the year in the past. And now he has written a prequel to The Great Gatsby. Nick, what a fabulous cover. Isn't this great? So for those of you that are Fitzgerald fans, you have got to read this book. It's fabulous. Michael Ferris Smith is the real thing. If you, I watch The Great Gatsby or read the book every year, and all his other books. So I just cannot recommend this book enough. And he would be a book of the month, but I try to help new authors get discovered in a big way. He's been discovered. So he's a bonus book club selection, but still very important read. Last, this is an author that has been with me for, gosh, decades. Lisa Wingate, The Book of Lost Friends. This is a book that followed after her book Before We Were Yours, which broke the 2 million bestsellers mark. If you have not read a Lisa Wingate book, you need to. And Tending Roses was her very first book we picked. So we've watched this author on her 30th book. I hope everybody's listening. On her 30th book, she broke into the New York Times bestsellerdom and it's now sold over 200 million copies. So this is a wonderful author, Texas author. We love Lisa Wingate. She's a master storyteller. Check out this book. And those are our March reads, which are incredible. So everybody join the Pulpwood Queens. And if you sign up today, you'll get a copy of our January book, Think Like a Monk, for free. It is our international read for January, and it's thepulpwoodqueens.com. Thank you so much, Mary. I love Bookish road trips, and I hope everybody travels with you every day on everything you do.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all those awesome books. Everyone, pick up a few copies and enjoy.